Publisher recalls controversial textbook, and this is in line. I'm sure you have managed to see the text that it has been trending on a book for grade 2 students, pupils rather, and it sort of shows you a school and a chopper flying above the school, and then there's a description of what is happening here of a politician who is coming. They land, and then they talk to the pupils, and they tell them that if you are good people, let me just quote it. His wife waved at us. She had golden rings in her hand. He told us that if we do well, he will give us a treat. He will lift us up the skies. I will try my best. So you can see this is a child who is writing a composition. Okay, the book has it has that setting that a child is writing a composition of what they're able to see in school, and they are now reflecting on a politician who is coming aboard a chopper and making them, telling them that they are going to give them a treat once they do well, and the treat is to fly in a chopper. Do you think our bad manners of politics has finally infiltrated into education system? Now, why would it take a public furore for us to really realize that there are mistakes in our books?
What do you mean a mistake? We have an entire institution that develops our curriculum. Somebody went through this draft, looked at it and thought it was appropriate material to teach our children, that they should wait for the Mheshimiwa to land in a chopper, to wave at them with their golden rings, and one day maybe they'll get a ride in that chopper. Somebody sat down and approved that, and now they're putting it on the publisher. The publisher only chapishes. If you go for a photocopy and you have tell him, photocopy this for me, do you come back and say, by the way, the wrong copy is because it's the one who supplied the wrong material to begin with? But what you're saying is true. It's our bad manners just percolating, and it shows you when the king starts walking naked or is insensitive to the needs of the poor and wonders, why won't they eat cake if there's no bread? Such things happen because the people who sat down and actually thought that that was good material to teach our children. That shows you how disconnected they are from the rest of them, wananchi, who are like, how was this a good idea? On what basis are we teaching our children that this is their aspiration in life, to get a ride in a chopper from Mheshimiwa? It comes down to what we have talked around this table several times. Our values, our values, our values. What are we passing on to our children? Is my child thinking, oh, he's a good and honorable man, that's why he's a leader, and it's such an honor and a privilege to serve your country? Or is thinking, if you want to ride in a chopper and for your wife to wear gold rings, you better become a Mheshimiwa? What are we teaching our children?
But let's be fair. There's the book. You can see it on the right side of your screen. Let's be fair. We have a politician among us here. Elachi, do you think that this is actually bad manners, or maybe it's okay?
Absolutely wrong. Yes, because when I'm campaigning, a normal politician, you don't go with a chopper. And there's a reason why they go with those choppers. It's because of transport. It's not because it is something that you must come around and tell your students that you will land and carry them. I mean, what are we trying to tell our children? That the only job in this country is to become a politician, and I must put on rings, and I must put on chains for me now to become that politician? Wrong. As she says, values. And I think it is time as a country we must look at ourselves, and especially as Christians. Because I want to salute the Muslims. They have taken care of their children. They have protected their children from all this fantasy, materialistic life. But for us, you look, even our parents are the ones who are pushing us to have this materialistic life. That a parent will not even question when you come in with something, when you're giving money. A parent is so happy receiving. She doesn't know whether you have killed. She doesn't know whether you have stolen. She doesn't know whether you're doing drugs. But you receive with joy, and you say, and you bless them. Time is up. Christians, take care of your children. Protect your children. That is why we are having all these challenges we are having. Have you seen any Muslim child die? No. Have you seen them killed? No. It's because of what? They follow their madrasa. They follow, yet as our Sunday school, I don't know where it is today. And that is why you can have such a headline. I won't blame the publisher. From the curricula, whoever drew that, that is the most immoral thing you've done for us in the education sector. So for me, it's not the publisher. The publisher was publishing. He did well to publish so that we see. The other thing we need to ask ourselves is that, are we really serious with our country when we say the generations to come? Because it's like in our generation, we have killed the next generation completely. Killed them. We've told them, one, you can do gambling and become rich. Then we come here, we tell them, that is why students can even come and now start harassing teachers so that they can be given what? Leakage. You know, it is, that is something very, and you imagine these are students who are supposed to move now to come to campus and now move on and start working for others. I think as a country, we have not lacked laws. We must look at our values.
Right.
Our ethics is gone, completely gone. And we are going to suffer as a country. We are going to suffer. That's why we are suffering even now. And my last is to KRA. We want KRA to collect for us revenue. But I want them to now relook at their staff. Their junior staff are moving in masses out. Why? Something is not right. Yet you're giving them targets. You've not given them a good environment to work and collect for you revenue. So I want to ask the bosses of KRA, look at your institution. The president is looking for revenue, but I know if you take care of your junior staff, things will work. Things will work for us, because there are a lot of things that are happening, and because they can't come out and talk about it, all I want to say, and I want to tell my chairman, Jeraini, take care of your junior, you will see revenue grow. They are fearing. They are being sacked in masses. Why? Fine. When you sack 50 people at a go, it's not making sense for your institution, by the way, because that is when all your brains have gone, and you need to relook at that. So for me, KRA, look at your junior staff. Let us take care of our junior staffs, because they're the ones who do the work.
All right.
Yes.
And Joy, you'll have the final word, but before you do so, I just want to read something in regards to that controversial textbook for grade 2 learners that was published by Jomo Kenyatta Foundation. And the KICD director, Julius Juan, is quoted saying that we regret the information that has been circulating in social media regarding the content of some textbooks and other educational materials. So that's the apology he gave. But of course, what we know is that that material has now been recalled and probably will be relooked. You can see that tweet online from the KICD indicating that regret. And then finally, on the last page of the Daily Nation still, CS calls final briefing meeting ahead of test. This is a meeting that is expected to happen at the Kenya School of Government, chaired or rather presided by Cabinet Secretary for Education, Ambassador Amina Mohamed, where she will be meeting with over 1,000 officers just to have a final briefing on the preparation for the national examinations, KCPE and KCSE. KCPE kicks off on the 30th of October. And KCSE proper begins on the 5th of November. But of course, there are some practical papers that will be beginning on the 22nd of this month. So Joy, final word?
When I see the CS is holding something, tell us about preparedness of the exams, I get sometimes I get annoyed. It's a bit of a pet peeve. Where in the world is it national news for 3 months that exams are coming? We're going to catch you. We're going to deregister you. The threats that go into this. And when I see there's yet another one, there's yet another one, I think it's so difficult being a child these days. As guys, when you're going to your exams, you're sent with prayers and success cards. These days it's threats, it's armed police officers, it's become very difficult. I wish the culture would change. Okay, it was necessary to break the cartels in the education ministry for what happened with Dr. Matiang'i and what. But we shouldn't perpetuate that. It's not normal when you're seeing the person in charge of our children's education. When you're seeing Dr. Magoha and the other
senior government officials in education
standing in a row, and each of them, when they come over, is this time we want to assure you, we want to assure you there'll be no leakage, anything will be seriously punished. And I'm thinking, this is the environment within which we want our children to go to exams. We have to relook how we do our education sector. I thank them for the efforts that they're making, and it's the best that they can do under these circumstances, and we're happy for that. But I wish once these exams are over, one thing we have to look at afresh is how do we even engage with this? We can have zero tolerance to cheating without it being a national threat. Because I'll tell you, consistently, for the last like 3 Mondays, there's been a press conference with education and with the exam as a main focus. The last 3 Mondays, till I reached a place like, is this normal? And you listen to the messages the same. They come and they're all very serious, and Dr. Magoha is there. We will catch you, we will deregister you.
Professor Magoha.
Professor. And I get to a place, I'm like, what if I was a child doing exams?
Yeah.
We have to come to a place where exams are not, again, like our politics. It's not a be-all and end-all. Let's use continuous assessment. Let's use learner-focused, where even if you're a quote-unquote weaker student, you know that you're still going to get value education. You're going to get education that will get you probably into vocational training, that will give you an income. Because look at other countries. Blue-collar jobs are actually what makes money. The guys who come and do your plumbing, if he's in your house for 2 hours, he's paid his rent. But here we put so much emphasis on white-collar jobs. We've gotten to a place where we've got electrical engineers who cannot wire your house.
Right.
So when you want an electrician, you can't find one.
And I think that's the basis of the new curriculum, which is still in its pilot stage. Of course, we'll have a different day to talk about that with the experts and see how far you've gone, because this was supposed to be the piloting.
But you know, it's not their wish. It is Kenyans who have made them go that route.
No, but you
Our
think
own-
about it. We have all these mining companies, the SGR, the what. We need those blue-collar skills. And when all you have is graduates with papers, but nobody who can actually wire something until the light bulb goes on, there's an issue.